Hi. So welcome to the live stream this morning. So I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be coming through me to give messages, and also he'll do a healing transmission as well. And just before we start, just to let you know that I do have some one-to-one sessions on the Archangel Raphael site. And that's for next week. So I've got a few slots there. And also just to let you know that I do offer 5 minute transmissions, monthly transmissions. However, I'm making a slight alteration. So for the 5 minute transmissions, if there's a particular question you'd like answered, and just like the transmission to be a 5 minute message about a particular question, just order it in the notes. Just put your question, but nothing too long, but just sort of, as briefly as you can. And I'm happy to do a 5 minute message, for that. So that's on the Archangel Raphael site. And on that, also the shamanic protocol as well. On the Gen site, you can join groups or buy recordings of past groups. So, yes, I'm just going to let Raphael come in and speak through me. I would like you to know that what I'm seeing at the moment is that energies are very much about going forwards in ways where you are very much in your higher self connection. But that does not mean you will necessarily feel it. It may be, for example, you generally feel a bit more inspired to do things, to get things done. It may even be that you generally feel more like you are able to engage with what is around you. So, what I will say about higher self connection is that it is not necessarily about always feeling like you are really in an elevated state. Higher self is simply about feeling that you are able to be in a state where you are not necessarily feeling anything negative, where you feel generally well, where you feel able to go forwards in life, be inspired, receive guidance from your higher self and go with it. And that is really what higher self connection is. And as you go deeper into higher self, it means that what you are able to do is be more and more in the light, do things in a lighter way, in a clearer way. And eventually, after a while, your life is very clear, very easy, ultimately, because you have a connection that is deeper, that guides you, helps you through things that happen. So when you have problems, you are able to stay connected. Know that you can actually find a way through by being in your higher self. And that is really what is going to take you forwards. And those of you who are able to go deeper into the higher self, you will notice that you do have states which are elevated, where you feel extremely high. But what I will say is that the higher self is not always about this. Sometimes it is just an energy that you feel inside, where you feel clear, where you feel able to do things, where you simply get a sense that this needs to be done now rather than later, and you do it. And that is your higher self guiding you. Your higher self will take you to the right things at the right time. And sometimes these things will be quite mundane, sometimes a bit more about things which are about higher aspects of life and living. But you will ultimately find it takes you forwards in life in a light-hearted way, without stress. But where you are feeling a lot of stress, anxiety, it is much better to clear the energy first and then allow whatever needs to happen to be done in a very clear state. And that clarity you have as you do something, the clear state, will actually give you clear results as well. Also, I will say that those of you with anxiety issues, you are not always anxious because of your own fears, phobias. It can be external. So, some people who have a lot of anxiety, it is much more to do with external energies, things that are perhaps bothering you from the outside, that create an internal anxiety that perhaps then, in some way or another, activate all your phobias, fears, all the things that you may worry about inside. But it is activated from the outside. And as the external energies clear, your nervous system is able to relax. And the things that you then are anxious about get resolved automatically by being in your higher self. So I will say that it is good for you to know that when you clear your energy, it is also about external energies that may be really making you feel a certain way, perhaps very strong energies, even things that are deliberately created in one way or another to cause you anxiety. Perhaps energies which are more to do with things which are happening on earth, which involve darker aspects of life living. And it is good for you to know all these things so you can be aware of it. That sometimes your energies are affected by very negative things. And the way you know the difference is that when you go inside to clear your energy, it doesn't get resolved. It is almost like there is something else there, something that is on top of your energy that for some reason is there and not able to clear because it is there, because there is something deliberate and the energy needs to be cleared in order for you to feel more settled within. And it is also good for you to know that those of you here who attract a lot of this generally will have something going on inside you around being in one way or another a victim. Perhaps you have had many lives where you have been a victim of things, where you have been getting on with your own life and something happens, and it is not because you are choosing it. So, as you clear this energy of victimhood, you will be less susceptible to these kinds of energies, that they will not target you anymore, because your whole energy is about being fully in your own power, being sovereign, being free of anything that is not yours. And as you become a being who is completely able to be in their own energy and their own sovereignty, what happens is that the energies that are darker no longer target you because you are not a match for them. So it is a reminder that some of you here have this path of really going deeper into energetic sovereignty, being free of being victimized in any way by darker energies, negative energies. And in the meantime, you do need to clear external energies and you do need to keep yourself as much as you can in a protective bubble of energy in terms of using protection. But once you have cleared internal energies of persecution, victimization, issues like this, then it will come to a point where it will no longer be an issue. But it will take a while for some of you to get there. So I am speaking about all of these things today because I want you to know that the deeper aspects of life are being revealed to all of you. So it is no longer a case of needing to go round in circles looking for answers for long standing problems. That nowadays the answers are here, that there is a lot of awareness about many things, including darker energies, the shadow, the things in you that attract things, and the things on the outside which are being created, which are there to cause havoc and confusion. And as you go deeper and you understand parts of yourself which are not able to be in the light, you also understand why you have a certain point of attraction towards certain types of energies, people, relationships, or other issues. And as you go deeper, you are really able to get to the root and actually solve the problem permanently so that it never arises again, that the rest of your incarnations are clear and free of problems. I am also saying this aloud because what I will also say is that some of you here are carrying a very strong blueprint of energy, which is all about reclaiming sovereignty and power. That some of you here have come into physical incarnation in order to show others what it is to be fully sovereign, to be fully in your own energy. And those of you who are on this path, you will have had challenges, perhaps challenges that started a long time ago. And those of you who are on this path will also recognize it in others, where you will recognize where others are fully in their power and sovereignty and where they are not, and be able to assist them. I would like to speak on one more subject today, which is relevant, and that is when you are in the company of those who you are feeling inside to perhaps be in the frequency of something that you are not resonating with. For example, in the company of those who may perhaps be very much about taking from others in some way, or it may be a sense that you have about them, or it may be something else, something entirely different. But what I will say about being in the company of people who perhaps you are not comfortable around for some reason or another, perhaps because there is something karmic between you, something that has happened. Remember that it is not about taking it personally, that when you are in the company of others and there is no choice but to be with them, there is always something there, whether it is a clearing of something that has happened between you in the past, or a clearing of an issue you have in yourself. Perhaps, for example, about being taken from, because you have had this across space and time. But as you clear the issue or the karma between you, you get to a point where you feel quite well around those people, where you feel okay. And when you feel okay and feel there is no real problem, that is when the universe will show you your true relationship with those people. And sometimes it may surprise you because after the karma and energies have cleared, you may actually find you have more in common than you believed, and that there is a good relationship that is able to form. But other times it is the universe will then separate you. So once the energies have cleared, there is no other purpose and you will separate. But you will not know this until the energies have cleared. So until then, it is just about focusing on clearing energy. And then afterwards, you will see what happens. But it is to remind those of you who perhaps work with people or for some other reason are in the company of others who you do not feel very happy with inside, who you feel triggered by, who you feel forced to be around and have no idea why. It is to clear something, resolve something, and afterwards the truth, the true relationship will be shown to you, whatever it is. So it is just to remind you that you can stay in this frequency of going within, clearing energy, And also remember that these are times when everything does need to be clear. It is a time you need to clear everything that has ever happened across space and time in order to move to a new frequency, which is your own higher self on earth. And because of this, you will occasionally be in situations with people and you will feel uncomfortable because there is something there to be cleared. So it is about accepting that that is the way things are at the moment, that it is just a moment in time. It is not permanent. It is not the rest of your life that you have to be in these situations. These are temporary arrangements orchestrated by the universe in order to resolve things quickly, things which are energetic that need to be cleared. So it is a reminder of this. I will say one more thing, and that is every single person who is hearing this is meant to be here. You may not realize it at the time. It may be to you that you are here by chance, but you are meant to be hearing this. And that is because there is always going to be a certain frequency on earth that takes you to the right place at the right time, especially when it comes to going much deeper into the light. So you will have been guided here. And so these messages are right for you in this moment. I would like to offer a short energetic transmission that is here for all of you to simply be more in connection with your higher self, more able to feel what is right for you. So I would like to continue. I will say generally the week ahead will be a good one, a positive one, a week where a lot is able to happen, and also a week where you may feel inside that life is flowing in a way where you are actually feeling your needs being met, things happening in a way which is much smoother and easier. That is what I see. Yeah, so thank you everyone for being a part of this, and yeah, wishing you a really good weekend and a good week ahead, and lots of love to all of you.